It's happening! Corporate America is shitting their pants! It's happening. Everyone is quitting their wage slave jobs, Jerry Maguireing their way out of there. Who's coming with me? Not even taking the time to grab the goldfish, just kicking over the swear jar and making a run for it. Dude, if your office has a swear jar where you got to put $1 every time you curse, take a dump in that jar. Seriously. I've never been more serious about anything in my life. Do it now. Do it proud. Point being, everyone is quitting their jobs they hate. Well, kinda. Quiet quitting, while doing the bare minimum at work, has gone global. Burned out employees are quiet quitting their jobs. The meaninglessness of modern work and the pandemic has led many to question their approach to their jobs. But it's not fully quitting. It's still collecting the checks so that you can afford your rent and your dinners out at that Indian place you like and your new shoes and if there's a little left over in education for your children. But yeah, collect the check, show up on time, but just don't do shit. Suck off the corporate teat as much as you can without your dumb boss firing you. Look, our system is meant to exploit you. That's how it's designed. So if you aren't doing your passion, if you don't love what you do, then you should exploit them back. And the truth is, this has been going on for years. It just didn't have a clever hashtag to go with it until now. Think about the number of people you've encountered working at fast food places or stores that sell paperweights and devices the size of a toaster that opens a bottle of wine for you. Man, I gotta get that device that can open can do the thing I've been doing myself for 15 years. Finally, I can do that. Think about the number of people you've encountered who are totally checked out from their jobs over the past 20 years. Store clerks, rental car employees, that guy making the announcement on the subway. Next stop, 14th. Fuck it, get off, stay on, do what you gotta do. That's on you. People have been quiet quitting since the beginning of time. 400 years ago, I'm sure there was a guy cobbling shoes together or whatever, and he didn't even care if there were nails sticking out and pieces of rubber all curved around at all angles. And I gotta say, I'm on that guy's team. Hell yeah. Do the bare minimum, everybody. I mean, I hate if it's me trying to rent a car and the guy is scratching his balls and we all have to stand there like, what's going on? I don't like if it's me, but hypothetically, I'm on your side. You don't owe dollar rental car or anything. Fuck them. But now, some of the ruling class are trying to reframe quiet quitting because they're terrified of it. It's going viral and they're terrified of it. They say things like, quiet quitting is another way of saying you have healthy boundaries with your boss. Even the Wall Street Journal half endorsed quiet quitting because they redefined it. If your coworkers are quiet quitting, here's what that means. And then they quote one quiet quitter as saying, the most interesting part about it is nothing's changed. I still work just as hard. I still get just as much accomplished. I just don't stress and internally rip myself to shreds. What? No, that's not it. That's not quiet quitting. Quiet quitting is not working just as hard. It's fucking barely working. Doing the bare minimum. The rich dicks at the Wall Street Journal want you to believe, it's this cool thing called quiet quitting where you still burn yourself out at a job you hate, just working yourself to the bone, but you're just toads cool with it. That's what it is, right? Rather than doing what Wall Street wants, I say we go the other direction. Let's increase quiet quitting into fucking up corporate America. And apparently I'm not the first to have this idea. With increasing frequency, workers are overtly and covertly setting computer bombs, erasing customer databases, tampering with consumer products. And that's the short list. And it's happening to big name organizations. Corporate America has stolen trillions of dollars from average Americans over the past few years. perhaps it's time they lost a round or two. Not to mention, a lot of Americans work for truly fucking evil corporations because they just need a job, right? Like big oil, big tech, big pharma, big ag, the military-industrial complex, and Olive Garden. Would the rest of the world really be upset if a few hundred people inside the military-industrial complex all of a sudden started slowing things down, throwing a wrench in the gears, putting a fly in the ointment, dropping pubes in the break room potato salad, which is an expression I just made up? Just imagine, let's say you work in the front office of a factory farm, one of those horrific like torture farms, and you start misplacing emails, accidentally shredding important documents, oopsie daisy, getting a few of the numbers wrong on crucial orders. Now, 500 fewer cows take a bolt gun to the forehead because the company was having some front office issues that they just can't seem to figure out. Then a few people across the country don't get their fast food hamburgers. So 10 fewer people don't get diabetes. Maybe a couple of people still have their legs, got nice legs to be walking around on. One guy never gets the heart disease he was slated to have. All thanks to you! You're a fucking hero! Cows would be marching around with you on their shoulders like the end of Rudy. Now imagine the same thing for a weapons contractor. All of a sudden, America is a few missiles short that month because something went down in the office. A few dozen children stay alive in Yemen, all because you could have sworn you sent that email, but maybe it's still in your drafts folder. Again, you're a hero. Look, if you need help learning how to quietly sabotage your workplace, the CIA has published a handy-dandy guide for you. Well, not really for you. They were hoping you'd never see it. But in 1944, the CIA put out a manual on how to sabotage an organization's productivity. The secret pamphlet was called the Simple Sabotage Field Manual. And now we have it. Here are some tips from the CIA. Talk as frequently as possible and at great length. Bring up irrelevant issues as often as possible. Oh man, you know that guy from your office. You know that you're at a meeting hoping it'll be short. The boss is talking about working as a team, and one guy is like, "Sir, I was in a few team sports as a kid, and it was not a very positive experience for me. On my little league soccer team, several of them called me Fatty Pants instead of my given Christian name of Marcus. And to this day, I can't buckle my pants without crying. So I find teams to be a bit triggering." You know that guy. All this time I thought that was just the most annoying guy in the office, but apparently he was CIA. Seriously though, how great would it be to use that power for good rather than evil? The CIA manual also says misunderstand orders and ask endless questions and haggle over precise wording. Sir, when you say all the billing statements must be approved by Margaret, I was wondering about the definition of approved. Because, excuse me, Timothy. Excuse me, with all due respect, Timothy. Excuse me. I wasn't done with my question. And I have to wonder if I'm being interrupted because I am one of the very few red-headed employees here. I feel the oppression, okay, Timothy? Next up, insist on perfect work in relatively unimportant products. I love this one. That one's beautiful because it makes you look like a hard worker. Yes, sir, I noticed a Hallmark card going around to wish Clarence good luck on his dental surgery. And I noticed there were some misspellings in the comments that people had written on that card. And I highly recommend that we allot a small 3-person team to go get another card, get it re-signed by everyone in the office, and then proofread all comments before they're written in said card. If it's worth doing right. Next up, work slowly. Contrive interruptions. Yes, I'm gonna get right on that, but if we don't take a moment to shampoo this area of the carpet where the cockroach was found last week, then it could contaminate this whole office flooring. You get the point. Call it quiet quitting, call it sabotage, call it finally evening the odds against corporate America. I don't give a fuck. The point is, fight back, decrease the exploitation, and begin reclaiming our lives. That's it for now, but please leave a comment with your thoughts and click subscribe. And since we are completely independently funded, we need you to keep this show going. Become a member on Patreon. Keep fighting.